Since some decades ago, I've been urging our people in the ICT sector to take advantage of the since many of our children speak Kampala parents English, the other one, they can, through the internet, USA, Canada, etc., such as call center services for utilities, hospitals, auditing accounts from here and be paid. India is earning US dollars 191 billion per year from this business of BPOs, has been unserious in relation to this sector. Therefore, again, honorable members of parliament, the four sectors are commercial agriculture, industries, services, and ICT. Given the correct policies of the NRM right from 1986, in spite of obstacles erected by those who do not understand our strategy, the economy has grown, as I said at the beginning of this speech, from US dollars 1.3 billion to US dollars 40 billion than it was in 1986, 114 billion. By 2026, the economy is estimated to be US dollars 69 billion if you use the foreign exchange method, or 193 billion by the PPP method. I am, however, nor have I ever been satisfied by this level of performance. Some companies in the USA have annual turnovers of US dollars in billions. You can take examples of the following as indicated in the table. There's one company in the US called Walmart. It's a retail company. Its business turnover each year is 560 billion. 560 billion, Walmart. Here we are talking economy of the whole country, 40 billion. A company in the US is 560 billion. Another company called Amazon, 387 billion. This Walmart is employing 2.2 million people, and Amazon is employing 1.2 million people. Another one called Apple, 275 billion. CVC Health, another healthcare group, 270 billion. $55 billion. McKesson Corporation, healthcare, $215 billion. Amerisource, Bargain, pharmaceutical industry, $190 billion. These are $190 billion. So, for us to sit here, how and why should a company have a size of business that is bigger than the economy of a whole country? The combined GDP of East Africa is 440 billion. The whole of East Africa, $440 billion. One company in the US called Walmart, 560 billion. You have seen how some of the individual companies have business sizes comparable to the combined economies of the whole of East Africa. Hence, in the medium term, we must aim at the size of the economy of at least $300 billion by foreign exchange method. By 2026, Uganda's population will be 48 million people. If each person is earning $3,000, each person per head is earning, or people are earning, for the children will not be earning, but their parents can earn for them. Earning US dollars 3,000 per year, that will be $144 billion. This will just be people's incomes without including infrastructure. Yet, US dollar 3,000 per person per year translates to shillings 10.8 million per person per year. And for a household of 5, this would translate to Uganda shillings 54 million per year. If each person was earning $3,000 in Uganda shillings for a household of 5, it will translate to 54 million shillings per year. Some of our households, like if you take the ones of Ruengaju, the one in near Fort Portal, Mr. Nyakana and his group, using 1 acre, are already earning shillings 240 million. Those who are at Kyenkwanzi, the MPs, the new MPs, I brought Mr. Nyakana. And if you divide by 5, assuming the household has got 5 people, that comes to $13,000 per person per year. So this is achievable. This is achievable because some of our people have already achieved it. Even the people in the cattle corridor, the ones of milk, they have achieved it. I therefore do not accept the minimalist approach by the Minister of Finance, where the people of Uganda generate wealth that is smaller than the businesses of individual companies in other parts of the world. We shall earn more from coffee and its products, from milk, from fish, especially the fish maw. The plan which some of our people have, which they have presented to us, is that out of Enuni alone, Uganda can get around US dollars 156 billion per year, bigger than what Saudi Arabia earns from oil in a year. I will be presenting a plan on this, how we can transform fishing into a gold mine, bigger than oil. To achieve these aims, we must defeat corruption and disorientation, and we shall defeat them. Corruption has become a real enemy. It starts in the Ministry of Finance, where projects are designed with supernumerary elements, extras. They make a project, but they add in things which are not there, which shouldn't be there. These bloated projects go to ministries, like the Ministry of Water and so on. Then to the committees of parliament, you watch out. You watch out. Committees of parliament. Then to the Auditor General, where there is collusion all the way, and there are agents along the way. Each one getting Njauro. I have the story now. I have the story, you will see. You will see. That's how I moved on the Uganda Airlines. They thought they were very smart, but they will find out what sort of people Bayekera are. What the corrupt fraternity did not factor in their chibaro of corruption and criminality was the large number of the young people the NRM has trained over the years. Many of them coming from the middle class, where they do not have the pressure of home poverty. See, we are beginning to have now young Ugandans who are from the rich families. This is a structural change, because these are children who don't have pressure of poverty from home. And you will see how they will help us to fight this corruption. I've been discussing with my children, who are now senior adults. They are no longer children. They don't want me to say their age, but who are now senior adults, the timeliness of creating DRA, Descendants Resistance Army, 1, to take forward the work of the original NRA of their parents. This fraternity recently recommended to me one of their group. When I talked to her about a certain job, her answer was, "No, Mzee, that is not my passion." As they speak in their exotic accent. These are people who work for passion, not for money. Against resistance, I put one of them, Irene Kagwa, to manage Uganda Communication Commission. When I was appointing that girl, I was, no, that one is young, he's not experienced. Although some of these other have problems, but they are political. No, I said, no. If you are corrupt, you are not a political asset. A corrupt person is not a political asset. It's a political liability. I put one of them, Ms. Irene Kagwa, to manage Uganda Communications Commission. She's doing a commendable and clean job from the little I hear. The young passionists are liberating the Uganda Airlines. The resistance movement in the Uganda Airlines was by these young passionist people there. It is easy for the NRM to defeat corruption. With the disorientation, I want to appeal to the NRM MPs to grasp our prosperity of our people by helping them to create wealth for themselves as well as jobs for themselves and others, and also ensuring security of our country. To achieve this, we must ensure the socio-economic transformation of our society by phasing out the peasants and the feudalists and creating a middle class and skilled working class society. It is a shame that we are still struggling with this economic metamorphosis 232 years from the time of the French Revolution in 1789, when, as already pointed out above, France already had a middle class and a working class, in addition to the oppressive feudalists and the poor and badly exploited peasants, the serfs. A lot of time was wasted, not only by the colonialists, the ignorant chiefs, but also by some of the post-colonial actors, politicians, cultural leaders, religious leaders, etc., that many times divert people's attention to wrong positions of superstition, sectarianism, miracle wealth, etc., etc. Mao Zedong in China struggled against these parasite groups. That is why China now is on the verge of becoming a first world country. China now is the second richest country in the world. If you go to 1949, when Mao Zedong came into government, it was very far. You can go and check. But the Chinese struggled against these parasite groups. Ever since 1986, if you leave out the other years of struggle, the NRM has been insisting on 4 stimuli to cause this socio-economic transformation. These are education for all. I spoke about that the other day on the inauguration here. Everybody joining the money economy away from the pre-capitalist practice of primitive self-sufficiency of Okore Chidachonka. 3, private sector-led growth to attract actors that are already part of the money economy in big numbers. And 4, infrastructure development so as to facilitate the 3 efforts above, including lowering the cost of doing business in Uganda so as to enable our economic actors to make profit in their businesses, thereby making Uganda more competitive. This vision helped Uganda, as has been demonstrated again in this speech. However, much more could have been achieved and can be achieved if all the politicians of the NRM and the civil servants understand and push this effort in a united way. Many times we have had to swim against the current. We have been facing opposition from within the system. Yet, as Mwalimu Nyerere said, Africa needs to run while others walk if we are to catch up. Some parts of the world are on the verge of the 4th industrial revolution, while many parts of Africa have not entered even the 1st industrial revolution. The 4th industrial revolution is the phenomenon of intelligent machines that can replace man in the workplace, such as factories. China and India benefited from cheap labor and lured business to the east. That migration of factories and businesses in search of cheap labor forced the other societies to look for cheap labor that avoids expensive human beings that were demanding high wages using the trade unions, the labor movement. The answer is intelligent machines as a consequence of AI, artificial intelligence. This is what is being referred to as the 4th industrial revolution. The 1st industrial revolution was mechanization, was the use of steam power operating in machines instead of the manually operated enyondo, the hammer. The 2nd industrial revolution was technological revolution, was the discovery of electricity to operate machines instead of steam power. The 3rd industrial revolution was automation. We are now entering the 4th industrial revolution of intelligent machines. Uganda and the NRM will not miss the bus of history again. That's what I'm here to appeal to you. Finally, security will be maintained in the whole country. Cattle rustling that has been showing resurgence in Karamoja will be defeated. We are expanding the brigades of 3rd Division and 1st Division. The criminality around Kampala was defeated and is being defeated. The only element to get rid of is the corruption and poor procedures within the police. NRM people were reporting intimidation and harassment by terrorists at the police posts. These good-for-nothing characters would tell them that there is no political desk. If you do not have a desk for terrorism in your police post, you will go home and somebody else will do the job. The recent shooting of General Katumba by the usual shallow actors, whom I called pigs the other day, you remember I called them pigs, showed the poor organization all the patrol cars and even the UAVs. UAVs are these unmanned air vehicles. We have them. They can follow you anywhere once they are deployed to chase and block these killers. No, these wonderful camera managers think that their gadgets are only for storing videos for forensic analysis as part of the post-mortem of the operation. Yes, the cameras are for forensic, but also for Enduru alarm. That's what the camera should do. You should be watching, and if something like this happens, you follow him on the camera because they are watching. They are there. So why don't they make Nduru, make alarm, while the crime is going on? Because they are watching. They are just sitting in their command center there. They are watching. The criminals would then be on continuous viewing by all the camera centers if the policemen adopt my directives and rationality in the use of those cameras. So those cameras are there, but they are not fully used. But as you saw, they captured I told the police, you show the public what the criminals were doing. Now the criminals had covered their faces, but we shall sort that. When the other killings, I have heard some people saying, oh, the killing of Kajezi, the prosecutor, the killing of Kawesi, the killing of Chirumira, and the Muslim sheikhs. But by that time, we do not have cameras. All those killings, most of those killings, even in Chigundu, we do not have cameras. I actually introduced cameras because of that killing that was going on. You remember when I addressed Parliament and I outlined the 12 steps. The cameras are just one of them. There are other measures. For instance, the gun which was used is already identified, which was used in the case of the Katumba attack. It is the same one which was used in the Chigundu case. Should be released on bail, I cannot understand. Bail for what? Huh? So His Lordship, the Chief Justice is here. I will get time and we talk, but we can't really go on. Because you see, these people want to turn our army into a criminal army. Because if they go on arresting and release, next time they will just shoot them. These criminals, oh, he was running away, we killed him. You will not be there to tell the story. So we are going to sit down and really, I'm glad the cameras are working. The other systems are working also, but they are not fully used. The police is therefore directed to stop. These policemen abandoned using radios. I think this was under the regime of Kale. They abandoned using radio. They now use mobile phones. Hello, hello, hello. Now, mobile phone, you talk to only one person. Police don't work like that. Police work on a network. It's like a village where you make Nduru, because when you make Nduru, the whole village wakes up. The camera people should, when they are watching, they see something like that, they should shout and say, "Uyo, uyo, uyo, uyo." And then everybody should be hearing. You should be on the same network. Not looking for the DPC who is asleep. No, we don't need DPC. We just need the people on duty. Whether DPC is asleep or not, it's none of our business. The police post, the police station must always be open and on radio communication, and everybody should be communicating. Something happens here, the whole system knows. Henceforth, the police is directed, again, I had already directed them, but I repeat it, stop using mobile phones and go back to using radios that are open to all stations so that they can act promptly in emergencies like the one of General Katumba. In addition to the cameras, our security leaders have been working on my directive of installing the digital monitors This was part of the 12 points, to have a digital monitor in every vehicle, every piki-piki, so that wherever you are, the command post can know. I know some people want to hide where they are going for some actually General Katumba and General Tumwine, we are the people working on that particular system. The one of digital monitors. And when you try to tamper with it, we see you. They have taken long to implement this plan. This would make it easy to know which piki-piki, which car, or which boat on the lake. We shall also introduce it on the lakes, on the boats, so that we know which boats are where on the lake. The country is secure. These people who were involved in the Katumba incident, I am sure we shall get them because we already have good leads. We shall get them. And I'm following you also very, very closely. But this is different from the Kajezis, from the Kawesis, because at that time there were so many things which were not in place. Now we have some of the things in place. Not all, but it is much easier this time. The country is secure, is progressing, and corruption and disorientation will be defeated. Right Honorable Speaker, I have not yet appointed a Prime Minister, and therefore I am not able this time to present the legislative program. I will present it when the Prime Minister is appointed. It will be much easier for me to present the legislative program. So here, I just repeated the strategy of the NRM that will cause social transformation in Uganda and ensure security of our country. I thank you very much.
Item 7 on the order paper, adjournment.
Your Excellency, the President, let me take this opportunity to thank you for completing your constitutional obligation. Within our rules, we shall have time devoted that has been presented before the budget is read on Thursday, 10th June 2021. We shall therefore be equipped with the necessary factors and gadgets to assess it and make contributions to it. The address has covered a number of programs and highlighted achievements of the government. It's important to note the date to date is that Parliament has not constituted the requisite committee since it has just commenced. For the record, in the past, before the new normal, after the address by the President, he would take a group photograph with all of us, members of Parliament, but now it is not possible. The other part of the ceremony used to be a cocktail reception hosted in honor of the members by the Speaker. I think this one will defer and pray hard that this thing goes away, then we can do that one. That one will never go away. We will have it one way or the other. This will also not be possible for now. We pray for divine intervention and the working of our scientists so that in the near future the pandemic disappears and we are able to move normally with our lives. With this, once again, I thank you, Your Excellency, for the address, and honorable members for turning up in these numbers. But let me take this chance to record some apologies from our members and colleagues who are not able to be here. I received notification from the Honorable Connie Galewango. She lost an aunt, a close aunt, and she had to be there. Secondly, Your Excellency, we will record the apologies of the members from Karamoja sub-region. All of them left to be home with the people. The situation there does not seem to be going down, and it seems to be escalating. You had these discussions with them, Your Excellency. You might now need to move quicker and see how such situations there could be resolved. Some announcements, honorable members and staff. The budget will be read on the 10th. That means on Monday and Tuesday, we'll be taking samples for COVID at Parliament. Please prepare and do this so that we are safe and can be of June, but should we receive some documents from the President and others, we could sit earlier to handle some business that could be urgent before the budget. But proper notifications will be given to you if this should be the case. Otherwise, this House substantially would be adjourned to June 10th at 2 p.m. to receive the national budget. But as I said, there could be modifications. Just stay on the alert. We could sit to deal with the committees on appointments and deal with some motions that are vital in dealing with the issues of what the President will be doing with the Vice President, with the Prime Minister, with some other proposal that will be asking Parliament to act on to facilitate the setting up of his government. House adjourned.
The anthems in reverse order.